Hi, this is Auntie Sweets. Welcome back to the kitchen. Today we're making vanilla chai. It's a great pick-me-up on a nice cold day, and that's what we have in store, seeing as it's December. So to get started, I'm bringing 6 cups of water to a boil. Once everything's done, we're going to be adding 4 cups of whole milk, 1 cup of half and half. And to get this water boiling hotter, we're going to go ahead and add the sugar now. I'm using 1 cup of organic sugar. And I'm going to add a dash of salt and our spices. Spices that are going to be going into the vanilla chai are half of a whole nutmeg, green cardamom, black peppercorns, whole allspice, whole cloves, and cinnamon. Now, there's 2 different types of cinnamon. One is the actual real cinnamon, and that is Ceylon cinnamon. And the American cinnamon is actually cassia, and they call it Saigon cinnamon. But I like to use both in my tea so that you have the traditional flavor of an American cinnamon, which is what most people grew up on. And then we're also going to use the Ceylon cinnamon because it has the nutritional values that people talk about when they are describing cinnamon. So we have here the water, and we're going to add about 5 to 7 pods of green cardamom and the peppercorns to taste. If you like your chai a little spicier, add more pepper. So I'm going to add about 10 peppercorns, about 10 cloves of allspice, and the same with the cloves of clove. For the cinnamon, the American cinnamon sticks, as you see, they're more tightly rolled. We're going to add 3 of those. And I'm going to go ahead and break in half. This is the Ceylon, the real cinnamon. As you can see, it's a flakier texture, and that's the one with the nutritional values. Fresh ginger root. I've only peeled the part that I'm going to use. You want to put about a tablespoon of it in and just give it a rough chop. In the pot goes our fresh ginger. And all that's going to go into the pot, and we're going to bring it to a boil. Once it boils, we're going to reduce the temperature and let it simmer a little bit before adding our tea bag. For my mom, when making any kind of tea, whether it be iced or other, is to line up all your tea bags, take the tab, and make a nice knot, and that will keep them together and easier to pull out and discard later. This recipe is going to yield a gallon total of tea. I like to store it in a pitcher and drink it either hot or cold over the next day or two. If I have company dropping in, it's great to have chai tea on hand to offer them to warm up. As you can see, it's coming to a boil now, so we're going to reduce the temperature and just let this simmer for about 2 to 3 minutes at a reduced temperature. Okay, the spice sugar water has been simmering for about 3 minutes now, so we're going to go ahead and lower in our tea bags, missing the paper tags, and just completely submerge them. And we're going to let this steep now with the flame turned off for about an hour before you add your milk and your heavy cream. So before we put the lid on the pot, we are going to add our vanilla. You want to add about a teaspoon or so of your vanilla, and you don't want it to boil with it because we don't want it to get bitter. We just want to impart it, and the any alcohol, if you have a non-alcoholic based vanilla, that's fine, but if you have an alcohol based vanilla, you really want to add it last. And we're just going to cover this and let it steep for about an hour or so before we add our milk and half to the pitcher. Okay, our tea has been steeping for an hour. Now, I leave the tea bags in because I like a stronger tea, even though it's going to be in the refrigerator for a couple days or until finished. But if you like a weaker tea, just take a fork, and like I said, we tie those tea bags together so you can just gently lift them out and discard. But I'm going to leave them in. We're going to carefully carry this to the sink where we have our gallon pitcher in the sink waiting for the tea to be poured in. I like to do this over the sink because I'm a little clumsy and some of it's going to splash and you don't want to burn yourself. So once you get all your tea and spices into your pitcher, then you are going to now Add your milk and your half and half. We have 4 cups of whole milk, cup of half and half. We've removed it from the sink. We're going to give it a gentle stir just to make sure everything's nice and incorporated. The 16-ounce cup takes about 2 minutes in the average microwave to heat up and enjoy. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and follow.